a unique investigation. The psychics will look into a plane crash that took the lives of 37 people. The official version blames the crew, but is that really so? Don't miss out. The psychics will reveal a deadly secret. Welcome to Psychic Investigations, a project of true and shocking stories. Here, people who call themselves clairvoyants uncover resonant criminal cases and incredible paranormal phenomena. Every time this woman looks to the sky, she recalls the day her husband, a military pilot, returned from a mission in a coffin.
They made an announcement at the airport. Cargo 200 has arrived. That's when I learned that meant the dead.
The crash that killed Olena's husband Ihor occurred back in 1989 in one of the republics of the then Soviet Union.
It was an Antonov An-26 military transport plane that, at the time, was carrying civilian passengers.
Days before the tragedy, snowfall had disrupted flights in the region where Olena and Ihor lived. Once the skies cleared, airports faced massive passenger backlogs. To ease the burden, military crews were brought in. On the day of the crash, 3 planes took off, one of them with Ihor Kuchmi as the co-pilot.
First, the civilian aircraft took off. Then his military plane. The third one, also military, followed. The first one landed safely, but his aircraft crashed just 50 meters short of clearing the pass. The third plane also landed safely. They flew in a close sequence, 5 to 10 minutes apart. They could even see one another.
The strangest part is that only one of the planes crashed. All had the same landing conditions, and each had clearance from air traffic control. So what went wrong?
31 passengers and 6 crew members all died. No survivors.
The official version claims that due to cloudy weather and strong wind, the aircraft collided with the mountain slope at an altitude of 1,500 meters.
Imagine a vertical wall, an almost 70-degree rock face. The aircraft was flying at 150 to 180 meters per second. When the pilot broke through the cloud layer, he may have had mere seconds to process what he saw and react accordingly.
But how is this possible? How could a plane, cleared for landing, fly straight into a cliff? All 3 aircraft were guided from the ground.
They claimed the aircraft had deviated from the glide path by 15 kilometers. That's far too much.
The glide path is a precise trajectory a plane follows from a given altitude and up until it lands. They say it shifted 10 to 12 degrees left off the path.
But how could this happen? Did those guiding the descent from the ground not see it on radar? And what about the pilots themselves? How did they miss such a major deviation on their instruments?
Using their instruments, the crew should have been able to determine whether they were off course or not. We might only guess why the plane crashed.
A commission came and, as always, the crew was blamed.
In Soviet times, details of incidents like air disasters were usually kept secret. After the investigation report was released, Olena tried to find the people who conducted it. However, she failed.
Everyone involved in the rescue operation or the investigation was reassigned to different parts of the Soviet Union. In the end, tracking them down became impossible. The exact circumstances of the crash were never revealed.
Did they find something so sensitive that it had to be buried? What was the military leadership trying to hide? Why did they disperse the investigators across the entire Soviet Union? To find the truth behind Ihor Kuchmi's death, Olena decided to turn to people with extraordinary abilities.
Because I'd never get answers on my own.
Olena hoped to get help from Zhanna Shulikova and Dilaram Saparova, but Dilaram missed her flight. To avoid delaying the investigation, Zhanna teamed up with Olena Laska.
I'm seeing it through the man's eyes. A mountain. It's all white. The plane is descending. Then suddenly everything changes. A massive, violent wave hits. I can't even tell what's happening. And then nothing remains. Just death.
In my vision, I'm surrounded by complete darkness. Then suddenly, out of nowhere, a blinding beam of light like from a searchlight.
What happened to the aircraft? What was the real cause of the crash? Olena Kuchmi's daughter, also Olena, and younger sister, Olha, are greeting the psychics. Years have passed since the tragedy. The psychics are working 7,500 kilometers away from the crash site. Can they sense anything and help this woman uncover the truth behind her husband's death?
Lots of people. Blood everywhere. They're lost. Women, children, men. It was horrific. What was your husband's name?
Ihor.
The deaths were instantaneous. Deep wounds, broken bones.
The death certificate said massive, brutal destruction of the head, chest, abdomen, and pelvis. None of them had a chance to survive.
But he was not at fault.
But what does that mean? The official report said the crash occurred due to a crew error, and Ihor was the co-pilot.
The captain of the plane was their squadron commander with 7 years of flying experience in that region. He couldn't have made any silly mistakes.
Could such highly qualified pilots really have made mistakes that took their own lives and those of all their passengers?
Something incredible happened in the sky. I sensed strange energy inside the aircraft seconds before the crash. I would even say it wasn't of earthly origin. I can't compare it to anything I know.
What's the clairvoyant talking about? And how does this relate to the plane crash? Could the aircraft have been downed by the military and the crew then framed for the disaster? Is that why the original investigation team was scattered across the USSR?
They tried to level out the aircraft, but ended up hitting the mountainside. Death was instantaneous. There was no fire, nothing that indicated it had ignited.
That's the thing. The fuel tanks were full and there was no fire.
But how is that possible? To uncover the true cause of the crash, Olena tried to obtain the black box recordings, but to no avail. Could this have been an attempt to bury the real reason for the disaster? Meanwhile, Dilaram Saparova arrives in Kiev. Since she missed her flight, she's been haunted by the spirit of the deceased Ihor.
I can't understand what he wants from me. His mouth is sewn shut.
Dilaram decides to consult her fellow psychic Kayal Alekperov from Azerbaijan.
This spirit keeps coming to me. I don't understand what he's asking because his mouth is sewn shut. I really need to get to the bottom of this.
Let me perform a ritual to summon the spirit of this man. The spirit is here. And yes, his mouth is sealed with thick thread. He knows too much.
I tried to contact Ihor's spirit, but I received a warning. Be very careful. What we were investigating was extremely dangerous. I saw 3 planes flying. 1 landed safely, 2 kept flying. Then, next to the one carrying Ihor, something strange appeared. I don't even know how to describe it. It was some kind of dense, unknown energy cluster.
Radar data confirmed no other aircraft in the area apart from those 3.
So was the plane really downed by the military?
It's darkness, total darkness. Then a single beam of light shines on something like a pit or a grave.
Why do I see them as lost? Did the search party not know where they were?
No. For 3 or 4 days, there were rumors people might be alive. They said the lights turned on, and the radio was active, which meant someone must have survived. I was sure my husband was still alive.
Can we go to the cemetery?
Yes, of course.
Meanwhile, Kayal Alekperov and Dilaram Saparova continue their investigation in Kiev.
Dilaram. I see a large circle rising from underground. The man seems mute. Everyone on board saw something so shocking they couldn't utter a word. Moments before the impact, the plane seemed to enter another dimension.
It was like the earth opened up and the plane fell inside.
The scariest part is that the passengers had no idea where they were.
What does all this mean? The psychics still can't explain what they're feeling. Meanwhile, Zhanna Shulikova and Olena Laska arrive at the cemetery.
Who did he call a mouse? Was it her?
Yes.
A mouse?
Yes.
It struck me strangely hearing someone say that. I didn't mean to offend.
Calm down, sweetheart.
I just need to say whatever I hear, no matter what it is. But why a mouse?
She was tiny, just a baby.
The day Ihor died, his 5-month-old daughter, Olena, took her first steps.
I was in the kitchen trying to warm up his food when he shouted, "Olena, come here." He said our daughter stood up. He kissed her and said, "My little baby girl." Then he kissed us both and said, "I'll be back. Everything will be okay."
That flight would be Ihor's last. But what really happened that day?
I see some kind of black hole, like he fell into one.
The concept of a black hole has been introduced in science relatively recently. It's not imaginary, but a physical object, not of zero size. And once something enters it, it can't escape it, even if it moves at the light speed. Strange distortions of time occur inside.
One such region on Earth where ships and planes have vanished is the Bermuda Islands, January 1948. A British aircraft, the Star Tiger, took off from London. It was scheduled to land 20 hours later on Bermuda, but it disappeared from radar and has never been found. There have been many other similar cases ever since.
The energy from this point is deathly. I'm certain the crash is linked to something beneath the Earth.
Then it hit me. Ihor always knew he'd die young. He felt it subconsciously, but he was never afraid of death. What about the phrase he used when he proposed to you?
He said it to me many times.
Marry me, but we won't be together long because I...
Yes, he said, I'll live to 30 to 33. When he proposed, he added, "You'll never get tired of me." A lot of people knew this, and what's even more remarkable, after he died, I found out from friends that back in flight school, Ihor used to say his wife's name would be Olena, and he'd have 3 kids, 2 girls and a boy.
Unbelievable. At the time of his death, Ihor had 2 daughters, Alexandra and Olena, and in a cruel twist, his wife discovered she was pregnant with their 3rd child right after the funeral. Doctors warned her that due to the trauma, she might give birth to a child with health issues.
The doctor said, "Come back tomorrow, we'll take care of everything. You can't give birth. There's a 99% chance the baby will be deformed." I replied, "You don't understand. I can't refuse this baby. He's the last thing my husband left me."
Olena named her son after her husband, Ihor. He's now 23 years old.
Whenever I'd fall asleep, I'd imagine the doorbell ringing. I'd rush to open it, and he'd be standing there, and I'd yell, "Look, it's Dad. You didn't believe me, but here he is." Yes, I just wanted it to happen so badly.
Ihor never met his father. What's more, he doesn't know the circumstances of his father's death.
Right up to the final second, he was trying to stabilize the aircraft. It wasn't roaring. It was gliding silently. I saw the plane in flight, and inside and around it was a strange, unknown substance. This was showing me that there was some internal malfunction. Some force altered the pilot's physical state, and even affected the aircraft and its movement. I felt like screaming, because every piece of information I needed was somehow being hidden from me.
This might sound strange, but I see that moments before the crash, the aircraft entered another dimension. It's in the sky, but almost not there. It seems to have slipped into a parallel reality.
Seconds before impact, there was the plane, but then it was gone and then back again. I honestly don't know how to explain it or what it even was.
The plane falls, and then I see disc-shaped objects. They're circling it.
What could it be? What are these strange objects?
Can you explain why, for 5 years after the crash, people kept insisting he was alive? What could that be about?
6 months after her husband's death, the widow began visiting witches and fortune-tellers, and each one told her Ihor was still alive.
Because he doesn't consider himself dead to date. Just before dying, Ihor learned something extraordinary, and he couldn't leave this world peacefully without revealing it. That's why the clairvoyants and fortune-tellers kept seeing him as alive. We've decided to perform a ritual to understand why his mouth was sewn shut and why he couldn't speak to us. What we witnessed during the ritual defied any logic, so we decided to take a break. I chose to continue working privately because if I had shared what I'd seen right away, people would have thought I'd lost my mind. We saw a strange, inexplicable being, but it wasn't demonic. It was something unearthly.
And it appeared next to the aircraft just seconds before the crash.
Dilaram, I felt the spirit wanted to speak but couldn't. There's one way to connect with it. I'll ask my jinns to allow this man's spirit to enter your body. Maybe that way we'll finally uncover the truth. I'm not forcing you. Think it over carefully. It's very difficult and must be taken seriously.
We need to do this because I need to know what he's trying to say.
For nearly an hour, the psychic recited prayers and invocations.
What do you feel?
I see dust. It's swirling and blanketing everything around. It's as if the earth splits open. There are underground tunnels and the aircraft is pulled inside. Another entirely different space appears. It's like my aircraft enters a new dimension. I see unknown creatures. They're rising from under the earth. They're flying and circling, and they seem to be controlling everything. I can't speak of it. That's why I couldn't say anything before.
Dilaram, enough. Come back. Return to yourself.
It's unbelievable, but I saw the same thing Dilaram did during a ritual I performed before the investigation.
Now I understand what that being was during our ritual. It was an extraterrestrial intelligence.
What Dilaram revealed during her trance, and what Zhanna and Olena saw independently, is beyond comprehension. We couldn't let it go, so we showed the footage of the trance to scientists and paranormal researchers. They mentioned the hollow Earth theory, which suggests intelligent beings live inside our planet.
It's a topic of speculation and study. The Earth's interior is largely unexplored, as it's incredibly difficult to penetrate.
In all my years working on that peninsula, people have reported UFO sightings and strange events, but again, I can't provide any concrete proof.
We can only be sure when things are verifiable. But until then, it's a vast field for speculation.
Skeptics insist that all phenomena can be explained scientifically. But the people with extraordinary abilities have sensed things that official science can't yet explain. Whether to believe it or not is up to each of us. One of the most shocking investigations by the psychics. Why did the ghost of an Egyptian pharaoh come from the beyond? Don't miss out. Unveiling the horrifying secret of ancient Egypt will save a young mother's life. This investigation started with a letter from Nina Roshtash, a Ukrainian woman from the Kyiv region, with a plea for help. She claimed that she was being hunted by the ghost of a man who killed himself right in front of her.
Right in front of my eyes, the man fell from the 9th floor. I was in the kitchen when I heard shouts from the window in broad daylight.
Nina ran outside and realized the voices were coming from the upper floors of the building. When she looked up, she was stunned. Her neighbor was standing on the windowsill.
He started climbing out the window. The shouts were coming from his wife and mother, who were begging him not to do it.
But a moment later, the man ended up on the ground right at her feet.
There was a massive thud when he hit the ground. Of course, I got terribly scared. I called an ambulance. They came and confirmed his death.
Nina waited for the medics with the man's family, after which she returned home. She wanted to take a shower to recover from the stress. However, upon entering her apartment, she saw a ghost, seemingly frozen in the air.
A white figure. I got terrified.
Nina first thought that due to the stress, she was just seeing that. But the next day, the visitor from the beyond appeared at her home again.
It felt like someone was breathing down my neck.
That night, she had a terrible dream of her 6-year-old son, Ilya, jump out of the window, just like her upstairs neighbor who committed suicide.
As he was falling, he yelled, "Mom!" But I couldn't do anything.
Nina woke up in a panic and ran to her son's room, and there, another shock awaited her. Ilya wasn't breathing.
We called an ambulance. He was all bluish. He only inhaled, but didn't exhale.
Luckily, the doctors revived the boy. However, they couldn't determine the exact cause of the attack. Nina, however, is convinced that it was the spirit of her neighbor that attacked her son.
I can't sleep. I feel this terrible anxiety all the time.
Nina has 3 children. Her husband works abroad, so Nina often stays alone with the kids. She is terribly afraid that the ghost will come back. And it did happen again. But this time, the ghost attacked.
It felt like someone pushed me really hard.
Nina fell and lost consciousness.
How could I fly halfway down the corridor and hit my head on the radiator?
Only by a miracle did the young mother survive.
I can't sleep at night because I feel like if I fall asleep, I won't wake up again.
Famous psychics Khayal Alekperov and Zhanna Shulakova volunteered to help Nina.
Zhanna, on my way here, I asked my djinns why Nina's life is in danger. And they said it's all about a woman who was stabbed to death. She must kill.
And I saw a man with a knife in his heart. Roses in flames and a woman with her face cut.
How do these strange visions of the psychics relate to Nina and her neighbor who committed suicide?
That's not all. Last night, I returned from Egypt, where I helped a family from Cairo, and something happened to me there. The night before my return flight, I saw the spirit of a young man in ancient clothing. He said his name was Tutankhamun, and that he was a pharaoh of Egypt. I couldn't believe it myself. What made him come?
What did he want from you?
Tutankhamun told me, find her.
Find who?
I don't know. He disappeared as suddenly as he appeared.
An hour later, the psychics are at Nina's.
Hello.
I feel like I won't be here much longer.
We're here to help. May I take your hands? I had a vision, a woman's eyes reflected in the blade of a knife. The woman from my vision is somehow connected to the fact that you might die.
From what I feel, Nina has already buried people who were close to her. And all those deaths were strange. I see you standing by a coffin. A woman lies in it. I hear your words. How will I live without you? Did you lose your mother?
I miss her terribly.
The mother, just like her daughter, was named Nina. A few years ago, she had a heart attack. She wasn't even 40.
First Grandpa died, then Dad.
Your father's death, like your mother's and grandfather's, was also related to the heart.
Yes.
Nina's mother saw the same white silhouette before her death that is now haunting her daughter. Your relatives died before you witnessed your neighbor's suicide.
Yes.
The book is telling me Kabil and Habil. It's like Cain and Abel from the Bible, a story of fratricide. But just as I was trying to tune in to understand everything, a spirit appeared next to us.
Kayal, what is it?
What happened next left everyone speechless. Right before our eyes, a huge tree fell on a transformer box and snapped the power line.
When I saw it, I was shocked.
We got so scared. Luckily, nobody was killed.
As soon as I approached that place, I saw the spirit of Tutankhamun.
The Azerbaijani psychic orders everyone to stay away from the tree.
Zhanna, this is the spirit of the Egyptian pharaoh.
I'm scared.
The spirit of Tutankhamun.
What does this have to do with me?
I don't know. Most likely it's got nothing to do with you.
It is known that Tutankhamun died of malaria at the age of just 19. But why did the pharaoh's spirit come to the psychic?
Tutankhamun is telling me to find the woman he loves. But where should I look for her and why?
According to historical records, the pharaoh was married to a girl named Ankhesenamun.
When a pharaoh died, his family was buried with him. However, Ankhesenamun's body wasn't found in Tutankhamun's tomb.
No one still knows what happened and where the body of the famous pharaoh's young wife had gone.
Tutankhamun's spirit told me he wouldn't leave me alone and distracted me from the investigation. I was afraid that because of him, I wouldn't be able to help Nina. But I couldn't figure out where to look for his wife. The spirit says she's in our world.
Maybe it's about some kind of reincarnation?
Where could Tutankhamun's wife be?
I need to tune in. For this, we needed the nearest cemetery and an unmarked grave.
Let's go.
To find out where to look for Tutankhamun's wife, so his spirit wouldn't interfere with the investigation, the psychics go to the cemetery to perform an ancient ritual.
Look, a grave. It's unmarked. We can work here. The spirit is nearby.
I'm scared. Again, this feeling of someone breathing down my neck.
It's Tutankhamun's spirit again. I hear his words. You must find her. Find my woman.
She's dead, and she's kept somewhere.
I sense that someone has bound the soul of the pharaoh's wife with magic. And I have a feeling that something connects you, Nina, and Tutankhamun.
I was shocked by what Kayal told me. I got very scared. I didn't know how this had to do with me.
I was shocked. My jinn said, the soul of the pharaoh's wife is bound to the world of the living by Tutankhamun's killer.
What is the Azerbaijani psychic talking about? Scientists believe that the young pharaoh died of malaria, which was an incurable disease at the time.
From what I feel, the ruler of ancient Egypt was killed by magic. And it was done by a man in love with his wife. The man decided to destroy all of Ankhesenamun's loved ones and marry her. And from what I sense, he succeeded.
It is known that Tutankhamun's wife was supposedly married twice. After the pharaoh's death, she married his advisor named Ai.
From ancient Egyptian manuscripts, it is known that Ai was not only Tutankhamun's advisor, but also his chief priest. At that time, people believed that priests were those who possessed magical knowledge or could predict the future.
There are lots of films about the love between the priest and the queen. But after the second wedding, the woman disappeared without a trace.
It was a deadly love triangle. I saw a vision of the pharaoh's wife screaming, "I will never be with you. I long for death to reunite with my family." And the next moment, the priest killed her with a knife. He bound her soul to a place with a ritual so that she couldn't reunite with her family even in the afterlife. Wait. Was there a love triangle in your family? That's why you are doomed to die, Nina.
Was there really a love triangle in your family?
Mom, Dad, and Dad's brother.
Nina's uncle, Misha, fell in love with his older brother's wife at first sight.
Uncle Misha didn't think Dad was the best match for Mom. He promised him that sooner or later, he would do everything to make Mom be with him.
Suddenly, I had a vision. Fire. Something like flowers. And hands holding knives. It all looked like some strange ritual. But I couldn't imagine that the family was hiding a terrible secret of murder because of love.
The spirit of a dead woman is hunting your family. She's holding 2 knives in her hands. I sense that the spirit of the woman killer was bound to this family through a ritual. And the reason for this was a passionate feeling of love. My jinns are telling me that the ritual was performed by someone from your family.
That person had something to do with magic.
Magic? In my family?
Well, yes, apparently.
I don't know. But my father was a gypsy. Could it be someone from his side?
I need to understand if your uncle resorted to magic to win his brother's wife.
Do you have his photo?
Only Mom's. I have it at home.
Can we go and see it?
Yes, of course.
The clairvoyants tune in to the energy of Nina's mom through the photo.
I see her. She says, "I keep coming to you."
I see her in my dreams every night.
She's standing behind your right shoulder.
I miss you so much.
As soon as I touched the photo, I heard the voice of the jinns. Find the stabbed woman. The murdered woman was connected to some bloody love story in Nina's family. I feel that your mom was madly in love with your father.
It was a great love.
She was insanely in love with him.
But I feel that your grandparents were against this relationship. Why?
Dad was much older than her. He was more than 15 years older.
When Nina's father met her mother, he had just gone through a divorce. At that time, he was already 32 years old. Her mother's parents did not approve of this relationship and forbade the couple to see each other.
I see that your mother went against her parents' will.
She ran away with him when she was 17.
Secretly from her parents, Kolya and Nina left for the town, where the man originally came from.
My grandparents searched for her for a long time, until she phoned and said she was there.
6 months later, the couple married without Nina's parents' consent. And in a year, they had a daughter.
Nina told us about her loving and happy parents. However, I saw a completely different picture. After the wedding, your father began to treat your mother differently. Her love seemed to irritate him. It's so horrible. I see him abusing her. He beat her brutally.
Yes, I remember how she suffered.
According to Nina, her mother told her that over time, her father turned into a real monster.
She was always covered in bruises.
How long were they together?
They spent 4 years together.
I was shocked by what I heard. Why didn't Nina's mother leave her tyrant husband earlier?
Your mother couldn't understand why her loving husband turned into a beast.
She didn't understand. She was still very young.
However, your father's brother tried to protect her more than once.
He was the man who was by her side and supported her.
He loved her madly.
Nina's mother hoped until the end that her beloved husband would change. But after another beating, she decided to run away. She came up with an escape plan. I see her packing a suitcase and getting on a train with you and her husband.
They were going to work somewhere, and she asked him to stop by her parents.
The couple was traveling with little Nina. The woman assured her husband that it was hard for their little daughter to travel by train for several days in a row, so she suggested resting at her parents' house.
When she arrived home, she begged Grandpa not to let her go, so she wouldn't have to go anywhere anymore. And they kicked him out.
I see that your father's brother visited your mother after her divorce.
He followed her everywhere.
He proposed to her, but your mother refused.
She said it wouldn't happen.
I hear her say, "Sorry, I will never love you because I still have feelings for your brother."
It's true. She loved him very much. My father, I don't know why she loved him.
I sense that Misha couldn't come to terms with the refusal of the woman he loved and took a desperate step.
The card of fratricide. He killed him, stabbed him in the heart.
14 stab wounds straight to the heart.
This is so horrible. Misha killed his own brother. And the worst part is that he did it right in front of the whole family, during a festive dinner.
Mom said he walked in casually, sat down at the table, and did it in front of everyone.
Did the murder happen after their conversation with your mother when she refused him?
Yes.
At the trial, Misha said he did it out of jealousy. For this, he was sentenced to 15 years in prison.
Zhanna, my book did tell me about fratricide. Kabil and Habil. The terrible story of two brothers is somehow connected to what is happening in Nina's family, and also to the murdered woman who's hunting you. But who bound her to your family?
What was that?
I see Tutankhamun again.
Do you understand that this is dangerous? You must give him the answer he wants.
He says, "You will understand why this woman is doomed to die only when you help me." I had to do something. So I decided to perform the ritual.
Khayal Alekperov asks everyone to be quiet and pray to themselves. The room falls completely silent. What will the psychic's verdict be?
The spirit of the pharaoh's wife is next to her killer, behind a wall painted with a flower, fire, and knives. I conveyed my vision to the pharaoh's spirit. Feel, he will find her very soon. Tutankhamun will announce this with destruction.
Incredibly, what Khayal Alekperov said was confirmed later.
Zahi Hawass, a renowned archaeologist, announced that his team managed to find a probable entrance to the tomb of Ankhesenamun. It is located deep underground next to the tomb of Ai.
It turned out that a wall collapse occurred in the priest's tomb, behind which they found a room with a woman's mummy. The scientists suggest that this is Ankhesenamun, and they are conducting DNA tests to prove it.
Tutankhamun is grateful, and he says, "You will save this woman when you find the fabric with flowers, fire, and knives." What does he mean?
It's something ritualistic. It's magic. Flower, fire. I've seen this somewhere. Rubina used something similar in her rituals. Gypsy magic. It's a gypsy ritual. This ritual is generally performed for death.
Who performed it?
A woman did it.
The woman hated your mother.
Dad's mother.
Your grandma?
Yes.
Nina's grandmother believed that it was because of her daughter-in-law that one of her sons killed the other. As such, strong maternal pain pushed her to perform the deadly ritual. She couldn't come to terms with the broken lives of her children.
According to Nina, her grandmother often came to their home and threatened her mother.
She shouted, "Be cursed, all of you."
Your grandmother used magic to bind the spirit of the murdered woman to you.
This is the woman my jinns told me about this morning. It's all about the woman who was stabbed with a knife. She must kill. The spirit killed your mother, and you, Nina, were to be her next victim. Your and your loved ones' lives will be safe when we unbind the spirit of the murdered woman from you.
How do you do it?
This shell has been prayed over in holy places. It will give you and your family protection. And Zhanna and I will release the spirit bound to you later tonight.
Thank you so much.
A house of horrors. A woman caught a spirit trying to take her child to the other world on camera. Why is the poltergeist ravaging? The psychics are going to unveil the mystery hidden in a grave. A family is afraid to lose their long-expected daughter, Lisa, and is asking for our help. The parents are sure an otherworldly force is trying to kill the baby girl, as awful things have started happening to her recently.
I heard a massive rumble. I came and saw the lamp lying next to her. She was in a baby walker. I don't know how it didn't hit her head.
There was no chance the girl could reach the lamp in her baby walker. Strange though, but the heavy lamp seemed to have fallen itself.
This was so horrific.
Last month, out of a sudden, the heavy chest of drawers fell next to the baby girl. If she had been just a step closer, she could have died.
I checked it myself. It's extremely hard to overturn the chest. I can't even move it without help. This was the point where I started to feel genuinely frightened.
On top of that, the mother has been having the nightmare of the evil force taking away her daughter.
In the dream, there were arms stretching from the wall. They were huge, and they took Lisa.
And now, even when she's awake, the woman sometimes sees a man in the armchair next to the baby's playpen.
I was sitting on this couch, and I turned my head and saw a man sitting in the chair, gesturing to me to be quiet. I was paralyzed by horror and couldn't say anything. My throat got constricted, and all of my limbs were suddenly immobilized.
Olha films her daughter's every step for their family archive. And the thing she saw in the recent video stunned her numb. The camera caught some strange gray spheres next to the baby.
First, I thought it was probably a mouse running or something. What could be the explanation to it? This is the video that proves I'm not losing my mind, and something's really going on here.
Why did we contact you? We'd like to know where it came from, and how we can rid ourselves of it.
A gypsy clairvoyant, Rubina Tsibulska, and an Azerbaijani psychic, Kayal Alekperov, took up the investigation. Rubina is already in the village where Lisa's family lives. Kayal is supposed to arrive later. The girl's mom is waiting for the psychics, while her father is traveling on an urgent matter.
Hello.
Hello.
Give me your hand. You fear for the child a lot. The feeling is contagious. My heart is thumping now.
It's like something is trying to take her away.
I need to work with the girl.
Little Lisa is in her stroller in the yard. Her scared parents never leave her alone. Her Aunt Hannah, Olha's younger sister, is looking after her.
I'll need to perform a ritual to receive the information from her. The ritual isn't too powerful not to harm her.
That what matters most.
Let me charm the water. Now we need to put a little on her hands. Dear God.
What? What do you see there? I'm scared.
I see a cradle. It's her cradle. And in the cradle, there's a bottom. Something like a pit. It's deep. It's a grave.
Does the clairvoyant see the baby in the grave? But who's trying to take her to the netherworld? To find it out, Rubina goes to work inside the house.
Let's check the cards. A woman. She is the source of your daughter's problems, and she's from the world of the dead. This woman. She looks delirious. It's like she's partially mad.
My aunt committed suicide last summer.
Name?
Natalia.
I see a tunnel and there's a scream echoing in it. What could the tunnel be? Is it a railway runnel?
It's a well. She jumped into the well. An artificial well looks like a long tube, a tunnel.
The woman jumped into the well in her yard only a few before she turned 60. It was Olha's birthday.
I needed to understand if Olha's aunt was harming the little Lisa. For it, I had to contact her, and I needed to do it through someone whose blood was closest to hers.
The deceased woman's sister, Olha's mother, and Lisa's grandmother lives in the neighboring village.
Hello, Mom. We need your help. She's coming.
Meanwhile, Kayal Alekperov is already approaching.
I had a strange dream. It was about a woman. She was wet through. She looked up and said, "I didn't want to do it." And she asked to forgive her. I saw a children's room without walls. And a man was standing over the cradle. His feet were covered with roots growing from the underground. "Stop! There's a girl over there!"
The psychic stopped the van at a junction. Olha's house is nearby, around the bend. What worried him so much?
A little girl's spirit. She says she died on this junction. She says she was hit by a vehicle, and her mom saw it. "Why are you here?" She says, "I'm waiting for the girl from that house."
This is incredible, but that is the house in which the little Lisa and her parents live. Is the spirit from the junction that Kayal Alekperov sees waiting for her? Can the Lisa really die?
The girl says, "When it's completely dark, we can leave this world. This is it." She disappeared. Her words worried me a lot. A junction is a portal through which souls come and go to the netherworld. She is waiting here for another soul. We need to hurry. We can't wait.
In the meantime, Olha's mother meets Rubina Tsibulska.
I want to summon her to know if it's her spirit that's bothering the baby. Oh God, I feel her fear. It seems she's recoiling from you.
Her sons and husband forbade her to speak to me.
The deceased Natalia's husband and 2 sons didn't let her speak to her sister and elderly mother because the latter bequeathed her house to Yevgenia's family.
We used to be very close. We were an organic whole.
It was hard for Olha's aunt to bear the conflict between the families. Eventually, she developed a severe depression, which eventually led to her suicide.
She quarreled with her children. I feel like they tried to force her away from home.
Yes, not long before it happened, they decided to send her to an asylum. It was Thursday, and they were supposed to take her there on Friday. And so she jumped into the well on Thursday night.
This is so horrible. Let's summon her. Through fire. Natalia's spirit, reveal yourself. She won't answer. She refuses to appear. Just a sec. Kyle can help me. Let's ask him.
Hello.
Kyle, the cards showed me a woman. She's dead. And she's out of her mind. Olha claims this is her aunt. You see? I'd like to ask you to also check it and see why she won't answer our summons.
Give me your hand, please. I can't forget my dream. I saw a woman, she was wet all over, and she said, "Tell them to forgive me." I didn't want to do it. She says she loves you a lot, and she would never harm you or your children. And she didn't respond to you because she feared you wouldn't forgive her.
We forgave her long ago.
Olha's aunt had nothing to do with it. Probably, it wasn't even her in the cards. This meant there was another dead woman who was insane. I couldn't understand, though, who she was and what danger she posed to the girl.
On my way here, I saw a girl spirit. She was over there, on the junction not far from your house.
Our neighbor's daughter was hit by a bus.
She said she'd been with her mom.
She held her hand as they walked.
As it turned out, a bus ran over the 6-year-old daughter of Olha's neighbors. She ran to the road so suddenly that her mother couldn't stop her and prevent the disaster.
The girl's spirit told me she was waiting for some girl, and she pointed towards your house. She wants to take her to the netherworld with her.
It's just horrible.
And she said one more thing, that it will all happen when it's completely dark.
Kyle, what could this mean? What's she talking about?
What I can't understand is why she didn't simply say at night. In any case, Rubina, we don't have much time.
It's just horrible.
I need to see the baby.
Yes, let's go to see the girl.
The baby girl for whom her family is so concerned is sleeping peacefully in her room.
I felt the girl had been a step from death several times, but something saved and protected her. There are otherworldly forces in this house. The meeting with us can activate them, so it's dangerous for the child to be here.
The scared Olha calls a taxi and asks her sister to take Lisa with her.
I'll work in your daughter's room.
Wait, I hear something. Can you hear it?
Yes, it's like a baby babbling.
Yes, like a baby.
It's weird, but the noise comes from Lisa's room, from under her bed. Everyone who is inside hears it.
Yes, I also heard a baby babbling.
Just a moment. Hush. Hush. Wait. Oh, God.
A black cat. God, such a huge black cat.
My God. My God.
Can I go out? My goodness, what is it doing in the house? God.
God under Lisa's bed.
God, the huge black cat. How did it get in here? The door and the windows were closed.
Isn't it yours?
I don't have cats.
It's not our cat.
Drive it out. Make it leave, quick. But the place Cat chose worried me most of all. Why was it hiding under Lisa's bed?
I'm looking at the wall and see a man trying to go out of it.
Olha saw a man sitting in the armchair at night.
The man was sitting in the chair, showing me to be quiet.
I need to work in the room where you saw the man. We've got to hurry. It's getting dark. Do you remember what the girl from the junction said about darkness? The thing Kayal Alekperov sees in this room makes him call everybody else immediately. It's incredible, but the chandelier is swinging like it's an earthquake.
What is it?
Oh my God, why is it swinging so much?
Has anybody hung themselves in this house?
Do you see the man here?
Yes, I do. He lived here long ago. The man was wealthy.
Yes, well-dressed. Whenever I see him, he's very well-dressed.
He wears spectacles. His handwriting is neat. I see him write something and then hang himself.
My God, it's terrible.
Is the man's spirit the otherworldly force that's attacking the house? But who is he? And why is the hunting the girl?
It's the man from my dream. Apart from your aunt, I also saw him. He was standing by the cradle in the children's room without walls.
He is the owner of the house.
When he was sitting in the chair, he was calm and confident, like he owned this place.
Was it here? On this spot?
Yes, it was here.
Was Lisa somewhere around?
Lisa was here in the playpen.
The house is quite old. It was built in the early 20th century.
The house is old and some rich landowner lived in it. His family name was similar to ours, Radzinski or Radwinski. He committed suicide.
I asked the spirit, "Why are you showing yourself to this woman? What do you want from her?" And he said he was helping to protect her daughter.
Is he protecting her?
The child was supposed to die twice when furniture fell on her. He says he prevented it. I saw that the man had a beautiful wife and a little daughter. But then something terrible happened. They both died from some awful illness. And the man, unable to bear the grief, hung himself on the chandelier in the house. Now his spirit is helping the little Lisa to oppose the evil force because she reminds him of his daughter. If you like, I can help you get rid of the spirit. But he says it will harm you because he's on your side.
Let him stay, I don't mind. But then again, what do the arms stretching from the wall mean?
He wanted to show where the danger to your daughter comes from. Therefore, we have to search Lisa's room.
The cat wasn't there for no reason.
The cat seems to be connected to this place somehow, and the fact that it suddenly appeared in the closed room gives me an idea that it wasn't a cat at all.
I'm being led there. Move it further. Move it further. My God, I feel emptiness. It's a pit. A bottom inside the cradle. Like a pit. A pit. A child is buried here. It's a child's grave.
This room was added later to the old house.
I feel the energy of a cemetery.
I see a woman, she's pregnant, it's her third or fourth child because I see many children around her. She kills her baby. She drinks something. It's some sort of poison.
I see the woman give birth to a dead baby. It's a girl. And it seems she buried her right here.
I know what they're talking about.
Really?
In that old part of the house, a woman lived, and she indeed had many children, but she drank heavily, and she didn't give birth to them. Instead, she performed abortions herself and buried them.
She killed the baby at the final stages of her pregnancy. It was an almost formed human being who had a soul. This room was added to the house later. This killed baby's grave was disturbed during its construction, and so her spirit woke up.
And when you installed the cradle over the grave, you reinforced the connection with the dead baby.
I didn't know about it.
And she's been trying to take her away.
This house is full of ghosts.
Then I finally realized what the cat was. It was the spirit of that poor, buried baby girl. She was sitting over her grave under the little Lisa's bed. The flying gray spheres were also her spirit, as spirits can assume different shapes.
I couldn't even think I was walking on the grave. This is horrifying.
It's unbelievable. The light went off in the house.
What is it?
The light's off.
Here it goes.
This is it, the complete darkness. Rubina, this is what the girl from the junction told me. She says, I'm waiting for the girl. When it's completely dark, her soul will appear.
My God.
When the light went off and the darkness shrouded us, it was the sign that the portal on the junction was open. We need to pacify the buried girl's spirit, so she won't pose danger to your daughter. And we also need to put a protection spell on your family.
We've got to hurry to let her spirit go before the portal closes. Her soul's leaving. It's flying away.
May she forgive us. We didn't know.
Always keep this in your house. Take a piece of cloth, preferably green. Wrap it in it. It's your protective charm.
Now, when nothing threatens Lisa's life, the girl can come back home.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. I am really grateful to Rubina and Kayal. I appreciate what you did.
Several months after the investigation by the psychics, Olha called us to inform us that the things had returned to normal.
Nothing falls or collapses. Nothing like that happens anymore. Thank you so much.
This is beyond comprehension. The family almost lost their little girl because of something done by a perfect stranger. An unknown mystical force is draining the life from a little girl. Could a real vampire be attacking this child? Don't miss the shocking investigation by clairvoyance. This is Psychic Investigation. Little Ukrainian girl Vika from Kiev is just 8 years old, but she already knows. When she grows up, she wants to be a scientist. She loves math and astronomy.
I want to study the stars.
But her mother, Oksana, fears her daughter's dreams might never come true. The child may not live to see that day.
My daughter is in mortal danger. She can be sitting at home or in school and suddenly starts gagging. Vomiting begins out of nowhere.
Several times during class, Vika had nosebleeds.
Lately, she's been sick constantly. Out of the blue, she gets headaches. She turns pale and her body temperature drops.
Her daughter. One time she breaks her arm, then it's something else. She just can't seem to stay healthy.
But doctors can't explain what's causing any of it.
No cause has been identified.
Oksana is convinced all of this is the result of someone's negative magical influence.
Lately, she often says, "I'm tired. I just want to sit down." It's like her energy is being drained. Her liveliness is fading.
The final straw came when the girl herself began begging for help. She asked her parents to do something to make her feel better.
She just started openly asking for help.
To save their daughter, Vika's parents turned to people with extraordinary abilities. Psychics Zhanna Shulakova and Olha Kalinova took on the case.
When I look at this photo, I feel the energy of an old, frail person, as if she were 80, with death already looming over her.
Is the child truly in mortal danger? The psychics decided to interpret their visions at the girl's home.
Do you smell that, Olga? Blood? Meat? It reeks from that direction. It's clearly a sign of black magic. It feels like pure darkness, like swirling black smoke. When I was on the stairs, I felt like I'd bumped into some invisible barrier. That was definitely magic. But I decided to deal with it later. First, I needed to meet the girl.
It felt like someone or something was against our visit.
Hello.
Come in.
Vika's father spends all day at work. He runs a small shoe repair business. At home, it's just Oksana and the child.
I just reached the apartment and already feel drained. I sense a heavy, dark energy. It's thick and black. Hi, what's your name?
Vika.
Can I hold your hand?
This girl is very smart. She has an analytical mind.
She's more inclined toward math at school.
The child constantly feels tired, to the point of dizziness and fainting.
Yes.
Vika is an active girl, but it's like something is draining her energy. As if a vampire is sucking the blood from its victim.
Lately, she's been turning pale. Her lips go blue and her blood pressure drops. She ends up in a fainting state.
We'll let the child go now. You'll go and play a bit, okay? No need for extra stress. There's a kind of female influence here. Someone didn't want this child and fought with you, forbidding you to give birth.
It's probably connected to my older son. When I got married, his mother didn't want that marriage to happen.
Vika's father is Oksana's second husband. She met her first, Valery, when they were both 18. They lived in the same courtyard. Their friendship slowly grew into love. From that marriage, a son was born, Slavik. He is now 25 and lives on his own. It turned out Valery's mother never liked Oksana, and when she found out the future daughter-in-law was pregnant, she became furious.
His mother didn't want me to marry him because she thought I was just a janitor's granddaughter. My grandmother worked as a street cleaner, and she believed I wasn't a good match for her son.
To break them up, the woman sent her son to the army. But during one of his leaves, Valery and Oksana decided to stay together no matter what. She got pregnant. He finished his service, and they got married.
This person was absolutely opposed to any kind of relationship.
When I was 7 months pregnant, she once told me that there were services available to terminate pregnancy. Naturally, I refused.
When we started talking about Oksana's first marriage, a very dense, energetic shell suddenly formed around her. It seemed to begin compressing the woman from all sides.
After the birth of her son, the family moved into a rented apartment. But the worst was yet to come. The child was born sick.
When he turned 1 month old, he developed an allergy. He was covered in weeping eczema. It was impossible even to put a shirt on him.
Could it be that Oksana's first mother-in-law turned to magic, which caused her son Slavik to suffer, and now little Vika's life is in danger?
I don't think that woman has anything to do with your daughter's condition.
I didn't sense any magical influence aimed at the daughter-in-law or the grandson. The fact that the boy was born sick is easily explained. The mother experienced a lot of stress during pregnancy, and that's what affected the child's health.
Oksana lived with her first husband for 6 years. But then, as they say, the marriage began to fall apart. Her mother-in-law interfered too much in their family matters.
We separated.
Oksana met her second husband in childhood as well. After her divorce, she returned to her parents' home. It turned out that Oleksiy's marriage had also failed, and he was living with his parents too. Oksana had long caught his eye, and he began courting her. The young couple got married, and Vika was born. From that moment on, Oksana stopped working and devoted all her time to her daughter and husband.
You were under an influence. Right at the threshold of your home, you were supposed to find vile things. Items deliberately placed there.
There was soil scattered under our doorstep.
I felt that this soil wasn't the only cursed object placed for this family. Black smoke clouds by the entrance.
Something didn't even want to let us in here.
I'd really like to go outside and see what's out there.
This is horrible. Remove it. Take it away.
Unbelievable. Broken scissors, right near Oksana's front entrance. But what could that mean?
If it's on one side, then we need to check the other side too. Look.
These scissors reek of hatred and death.
This is a woman's work. Trouble in the family, a woman will be crying. Nasty stuff. This horrific cursed object was made to separate two people in love. It was crafted by a woman. But at first, I couldn't say for sure whether it was intended for Oksana or not. Two halves of the same thing, something whole. This is usually done to cause separation. A cursed item near a multi-apartment building is typically aimed at a specific person.
That balcony where I used to live, that's my apartment on the first floor. Now my son lives there.
Unbelievable.
Could someone have used sorcery to harm him too? Who could hate this woman so much that they'd want to ruin the lives of all her children?
Zhanna, I don't think that's all. I'm sensing more negative energy. Right here. Something tied with black thread. This is also a magical item.
That's when I realized that none of the cursed objects were directed at Oksana's son. They were meant to drive Oksana's husband out of the family. They were placed by someone who believed Oksana still owned that apartment.
When I was pregnant, my husband had a mistress. She even came to speak with me.
This is horrifying. Could little Vika be suffering because of her father's lover?
I clearly sense love magic at work, and it was performed by a woman. This is very powerful and dangerous sorcery. It can not only break up a couple, but also kill.
It was unclear who exactly wanted to take her husband, his former mistress or another woman. But one thing is certain. She was in love with Oleksiy.
Oksana doesn't like to remember it, but back then, she firmly told her rival that she loved her husband and wouldn't let her family fall apart. 8 years have passed since then, and the family has lived in peace and harmony.
Let's go burn it. Look how black that smoke is.
Zhanna, look, it's raining. That's a very good sign.
Yes, heavenly water, let it wash it all away, come on.
As it turned out, while the psychics were burning the cursed object, Oksana, who had stayed behind in the building entrance, suddenly felt unwell.
You're feeling unwell? That means the negative energy is starting to retreat.
Let's go back inside the apartment. Even though we've gotten rid of the cursed objects, I saw that dark shell around Oksana again. It was squeezing her, pressing in, practically making it hard for her to breathe. Something else was still there.
The clairvoyants returned to Oksana's apartment with her.
Your husband is suffering too, just like your child. But it doesn't affect Oleksiy as strongly.
Then I saw a thick black fog in front of my eyes. The ring of energy around Oksana started to tighten even more. The darkness in the apartment just kept growing, more and more.
Out of nowhere, a lighting fixture nearly crashes down on everyone's heads. The crew members barely manage to grab the equipment in time.
It's due to the concentration of negative energy. I got really scared. I could feel that terrifying dark force surrounding us. You know, Oksana, when I was sitting next to you, it was like something was draining the energy right out of me. Did you feel anything like that?
Number, I honestly don't know what to do.
Right after you walked out, even before the door closed, I could already see this trail of black smoke coming from inside.
Right now I'm seeing something metallic, some kind of metal box. And you feel that it's threatening you.
It's in the garage, the car's parked there.
It turned out Oksana had long suspected something wasn't right with their car. Ever since they bought it, danger seemed to follow the family. She called Oleksiy and told him not to go home after work, but straight to the garage.
We bought the car, and that's when it all started. Something's always happening.
Hello.
Hello, my name is Oleksiy.
This car has been in several accidents.
Yes, it has.
The first time was when we were coming back from my mother's, on the bridge.
A car cut me off and the left side, my driver's side, hit the snow. The car spun out. The front bumper was smashed, and the right side took a hit. My wife and our child were in the car.
So the whole family got caught. The whole family was spinning out.
After that crash, Oksana stopped using any kind of transportation altogether. She can't even remember the last time the whole family went anywhere, on vacation, or even to the store.
My husband had a broken arm, and one side of his body was completely scraped up. And my daughter's whole body was covered in abrasions.
Everyone who knows Oleksiy insists he's a careful driver, but behind the wheel of this car, he's constantly in accidents.
He drives very cautiously.
I saw this family's crash again, and around them was that same black haze I'd seen earlier in the apartment. That's when I realized it's not the car. The threat follows the entire family, no matter where they are. I saw how Oksana tenses up every time she gets into that vehicle. And every time I see the same dark ring tightening around her.
The accidents they've been in, it's all because of that dark haze we saw back in the apartment. We'll need to go back there. Zhanna, I see something black, upside down. I can see them. They look like mice.
Bats?
It was summer. The windows were open, but all the curtains were drawn. And suddenly, 4 bats flew straight through this room. All of a sudden, 4 bats flew right through the room.
These were signs, warnings. Bats are symbols of death.
Bats have long been seen as messengers of Satan. They only fly into homes where someone in the family is facing deadly danger. That's when I realized the dark shell I kept seeing around Oksana was actually her energy field. But for some reason, it was completely black. The scariest part was that I couldn't get through it. I couldn't feel what was inside or understand why it looked that way.
But what does this all mean? And how could a mother's energy field affect her daughter's well-being?
You've closed yourself off, so much so that your energy field has become some kind of a barrier. I don't know what caused it, but it feels like you're hiding. Your aura is practically under intense stress.
You understand. You've been confined within these four walls. You don't go out or work, and a kind of panic fear of transportation has appeared. You are so closed off. It's unbelievable. Your natural strength is being consumed by your fear. That seed of negativity has taken root so deeply that you are simply trapped in it. Because of the ongoing stress, Oksana's energy chakras have shut down. She's hidden herself away from the world and can no longer receive energy from external sources. Her body began drawing strength from her loved ones instead. Without even realizing it, she became an energy vampire.
There really are people in this world who can be considered energy vampires. Most of the time, they don't even realize it. But during interactions with others, they feed off their energy. And the closer, younger, and more emotionally open a person is, the more they're vulnerable to this kind of vampiric attack. Come in here.
When did you last tell your wife she was beautiful?
I can see it's been a while.
Daddy.
Now the kid will say when Daddy last said that, that's not okay.
She needs to receive as much positive energy as possible. She's very closed off because she's been living in isolation. She believes everything in her life is going wrong.
Oksana pushed herself into this state gradually, starting with the arguments she had with her first mother-in-law. And the fact that exactly 4 bats flew into the apartment, that was no accident. It was a warning of death. Oksana's family consists of 4 people. All of them had close contact with her. And unknowingly, she began feeding off their energy. That's why each member of the family has had their own health issues and life-threatening experiences, like the accidents.
When did you last go out in nature? Or enjoy the sun?
She just refuses to go anywhere.
I suggest you visit the Kiev-Pechersk Lavra. There's a lot of positive energy there. In fact, there are many places in this world that carry the kind of energy you need. Go together as a family. Now I want to recharge your chakras with energy, so you can start sharing it with your daughter right away.
Let Dad go.
Dad, go get some exercise so you can carry Mom in your arms.
It's truly incredible. Oksana turned to clairvoyance to understand what was happening to her daughter. She had no idea that by shutting herself off from the world, she became the source of darkness that nearly harmed her 8-year-old girl.
This is a church candle with a special incantation. It's twisted in a specific way, then lit. And it absorbs all the energy in the room. Olga, I think we should step out quickly with this candle because I don't want to leave it burning in here.
We need to cleanse all of this.
Thank you so much.
Truly.
After spending the whole day with the psychics, I felt lighter.